Hey guys, Joey Battista here. Listen, thanks a lot for stopping in, checking out the video. But before we get started, listen, if you find value in the video today, please subscribe or share it with a friend. I'm super excited about what I'm going to share today because I believe and I know what's going on in the marketplace right now today. And this isn't a problem of just now today. If you watch this video 10 years from now or 20 years from now, what you're going to find is this information was just as relevant then as it is now. Right? So let me tell you something. When I started out in business, I was fortunate enough to start out in a business with razor thin profit margin, okay? Maybe you've seen some of my other content, so why when you start a business, you would want, one of the things you would look for is a high net profit margin business. But we're gonna reverse engineer that because I like to go both ways, and I wanna make sure that at the end of the day, I'm giving value to you. And this is something right now, like specifically, are you in home services? Are you in professional services? And it's really a lot of the high net profit margin businesses out there. Are you seeing 30, 40, 50% net profits in your business? Or maybe you were last year and you're not now. Hey guys, listen, we all know that mindset is the ultimate edge as an entrepreneur. So what I've done is I've taken my personal playbook that I've used for decades and I've broken it down into a PDF and it's yours, absolutely free. So click the link below. And that's really what we're getting at right now. You know, that's one of the things. So why your business isn't making the profits it deserves, or in some cases, why it was making before, right? Let's call it what it is. It's no secret what's going on in the world right now. Businesses are facing margin compression. There's all types of different challenges out there. And what you have to understand is, as an entrepreneur, is some of these things are outside of your control. But guess what? Let's not cry about what's not anymore. Let's be grateful for what we got, okay? We got some of those wins. Let's be grateful for them. Now let's use this time to become better. This is the time where you coach and you develop. You go to masterminds, and really you spend time with your teams and or your businesses, analyze them. So I'm going to give you the framework to do it. So why your business isn't making the profits it deserves? Are you fat? Are you fat? So here's the thing, and I'm not talking about fat in your waist, right? Most of us can, you know, there are some superhumans out there. I still got some couple pounds to lose. But my thing is this your business fat? Are you fat and happy? Did you get lazy? I've yet to see a person with 30, 40, 50% profit margins in their business actually be efficient. There's a whole lot of sloppy, fat behaviors that they have in their business. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to identify them for you, and I'm going to offer you the solution in 3 things. And this is going to put you on your path. First, you have to identify the problems and the inefficiencies within the business. Keep in mind, I'm going to keep referring back to this. I started out in business in a razor thin profit margin business. So for those of you that may not be maybe new to entrepreneurship, or those of you that never operated in a business like that, let me explain something to you. In that scenario, if a couple things fall off, you don't make it. Your competitor buys you. That's what happens. This is the real life of business. You just don't make it. So the first thing is identifying the problem. The problem is the leadership and or your people. Have you actually, so that's one of the problems, and then we'll get down to the solutions down here. A lot of times we have our people, remember something, on your financial statement, people are going to be one of your biggest expenses. So what they do, how they do it, when they do it, and who they do it with matters. Then we come in and we look at your marketing, right? People are like, oh, I'm not marketing, you know, we do door knocking. That is marketing. A canvassing crew is marketing, or lack of one, or guerrilla marketing. However you get your people, whether it's print, radio, TV, digital, social, you pick it. All platforms, all mediums. The reality is in the last 90 days, have you went in and quantified that, right? So we have to be able to look, and keep in mind, maybe you're doing good in one of these, maybe you're not, but I'll tell you this, very rarely, very, very rarely have I ever met anybody that's killing it all of these. Chances are it's very rare. And specifically, you wouldn't be watching this video if there wasn't tremendous value to be added in your business. This is just the truth. So we got the marketing, and then we got your processes and systems, right? Keep in mind, we're talking about our people, we're talking about all these other things. Are our processes and our systems actually, are they being followed? Are they doing what we wanted them to do in the beginning, right? This is a very big thing. It's very, very important to understand what's happening and what's not happening. And most importantly, is it easy on our people? Are we being burdensome in our processes and our systems to our people? So we're going to dive into those 3, and we're going to give all the solutions. and it's going to do it. So stick with me to the end because I got a really good thing for you at the end. Go ahead in there. I'm going to dive into the solutions, right? Development, right? It's the same thing. People don't understand this. A lot of times, there's a big craze. Private equity comes in and they're buying companies, right? So, and this is another conversation, but let me ask you a question. Are you implementing and managing those metrics that make your business worth the most money for private equity, for an acquisition? Well, chances are you're not. No matter what your size or scale, you're not thinking that way. Now, here's the thing. Maybe you never want to sell, but the thing is what I'm doing is I'm giving you a snapshot of looking at these things, because when somebody comes in and buys your business, what they're looking for is they're looking for inefficiencies. Long story short. And they're looking for ways that they can add value. And one of the ways that they're going to come in and add value is to your leaders and or your leadership team. Are they developed? Is there certain skills, training, communication? Can they develop them as a leader to drive profitability into your business? So if you're not investing in your people, and I want you to understand something, okay? There's lots of exercises depending on where you're at. If you're not investing in your people, and what's going to happen is we're going to find this budget as we get through these other solutions. We're going to find you the budget to invest in your people. And some of you, if you're small, maybe it's just you, yourself, getting coached and developed and taking back and learning the people. Maybe it's some YouTube videos, maybe it's some exercise, maybe it's some masterminds, maybe it's a book you read. Wherever you're at in the food chain, and hey, if you have a big company and you're not investing in your people, now is the time to do it, because at the end of the day, getting better gets you more profitable. If you want to go back there and you want to get back to growing and scaling your business, well, let's get your people better. So that's one of the things. Actually develop and having a developmental plan for your team and or your leaders. That's a really important thing. Then we come in and we look at the marketing and the door knocking. Like a lot of people come in and you're like, yeah, my canvassing crew did this. Or you're like, hey, where's your best? Oh, we do really good with Google. Okay, good. When's the last time you analyzed it? How much have you done in the last 90 days in Google? Specifically, how much? I don't know. I mean, people just tell me that Google does really well. Well, the reality is if you test your advertising and marketing budget and or whatever the case may be, and you break down it from an expense side, and then you break it down as an investment side, and you look at the investment that you made, what is your return? And if you're testing against each medium, Facebook, Google, radio, door knocking, you're testing each one of them, which one's giving you the highest value thing? Like a lot of people in a lot of industries, I see most people, what they're doing is they're like, we're Facebook industry, right? But they want to grow and scale their business, but they don't consider any other things. And that's another topic for another time. But here's the thing, I'm going to give a higher level view on that as well. But either which way, that gives you an idea. Are you testing and analyzing it? Now we come into the third thing. And I'm going to bring it all together for you at the end. But these are actionable steps that you can take. So are you developing your leadership? No. Bingo, opportunity. I don't care how you do it. There's help there to be had. If you want to reach out to me, you can. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm telling you is listen, you must develop your people. Your marketing. Are you actually monitoring it? And this is where you get into KPIs. So a lot of times KPIs get really scary for people, or they're just really lazy and they don't want to use them because they don't really see the benefit. But as you begin to process this information, you begin to communicate it with your team, keep in mind, I started in a business with razor-thin profit margins. Our ad spends mattered. We didn't have the luxury of having 5 canvassers that didn't work. We didn't have the luxury of having 2 platforms that were on spending money or 2 different mediums that we're using and they weren't performing. The strong that ate up the weak. And that's just the way it was. And that's the way business is. If you're going to take your business seriously and you're going to grow and scale without disruption in a tougher environment market, let's get strong now. Okay? Let's get strong now. Why the market is tough? So when the market loosens up, we dominate. We blow up and destroy. So your process and systems, checking and seeing if it's working or not working. Is it burdensome on your people? Like a lot of times people come in, are they even being followed? Sometimes you come in, you come up with these processes, client fulfillment, customer acquisition, whatever the case may be. What if you have you're trying to get and this goes back to efficiencies. What if you have a client fulfillment thing that you have 3 people on payroll for and you find out they're not following the process? So you're actually paying them to lose you money. So if you check your processes and systems, you'll start to realize, are the people that I'm paying to do them actually doing them? And then you can do a corrective action plan. Like if they're not doing it, well, we survived this long without doing it. Maybe we don't need them. 50 grand there, Oh, maybe we don't need that with 50 grand there. All of a sudden, now you have $100,000, you can reallocate it. Maybe you need a couple more door knockers. Maybe you can spend more money on Google. Maybe you need a radio ad. So you begin to create efficiencies. But what my thing is to you, so you go and check and see it's working, and is it burdensome to the people? It ties back to the leadership and the people. Are we creating processes for the sake of process? Are we doing every single thing we can all the time to make it easier on our people? Have you even had the conversation with yourself? Have you ever even introduced this way of thought into your life as an entrepreneur or to your teams? And I can tell you, listen, the magic is in the nuances. People are like, why would I believe in Joey Battista, or why would I follow Joey Battista? It's this way of thought and this way of looking, thinking, acting, doing, and being in your business that's the differentiator. This is what makes me a 1%er. Because everybody can sit back and act like they do this. But one thing I know in decades of doing this and walking in room after room and business after business and person after person is they're not doing this. But the best of the best are. Private equity is, especially medium-sized companies, they're not. Are you at 1 million to 15 million? You haven't created these efficiencies. You're going in, you're trying to implement an operating system. You don't even know when to implement. You don't even know the nuances of the operating system. Most people you see around $15 million, they're still hung up. They don't even realize. Have you grown past the operating system? You're looking at the other things, the other bells and whistles. So these are just some things of thought. So let's bring this all together, and I want to give you the message because I can talk about a lot of things, but I want to make sure that I'm hitting this point home because all I really care about right now is giving you value. So the first thing you're going to have to do as the business owner is say, hey, I'm fat and sloppy in my business, and I'm not doing what I could be doing to optimize. So if you raise your hand and you can be accountable and admit that and the thing is, you just got to want growth so bad that it don't matter. And you want to serve your people at a high level so it don't matter. That's just really what it comes down to. Now, if you want to live in the shadows and you want to continue what you're doing, because listen, hey, after all, a lot of you guys have high profit margin businesses. You can continue to operate with your inefficiencies. You can make a calculated choice that this stuff doesn't matter to you. However, if you want to set yourself up for a massive exit with a massive ability to scale, and you want to do it right now, and you want to beat the competition, you're not going to beat them not doing this. You're just not. Any pro will tell you this. So either which way, listen, guys, I hope you found a ton of value in today. I'm really happy to share this with you because I know these are challenging and tough times. I know businesses are feeling margin compression across the board. I'm seeing it. I'm dealing with people every day. A lot of people are running these really big companies, and honestly, they're not making any money at all. You would really be surprised. This is life-saving for a lot of people out there. So this is my contribution to something that I'm really, really passionate about, which I love business. I love entrepreneurship. I love what it does for the world. I love the mechanism. It's my heart and soul. It's my spirit animal. So either which way, I hope this brought you tremendous value today. And please follow me, subscribe, and share this with someone in need. See you next time.